All all right, and before I forget, for each one of those four macromolecules, you're going to need to know the structure of them. So you'll be asked to identify um, which macromolecule or which monomer you're looking at based on the picture. So these pictures on the right, you could see these in like a multiple choice question, and it'll ask like molecule, what's the monomer of molecule A, for example. You might have a question like that. So I always group them together as carbohydrates and lipids together, and then proteins and nucleic acids will be on the next slide. So the reason I group carbohydrates and lipids together is because neither of them have N or nitrogen in the physical structure here. So if you see an N somewhere in the structure, it's not a carbohydrate, it's not a lipid. Okay, they only have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So all four of them all have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But if they only have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, it's either a carb or a lipid. And the difference between a carb and a lipid, a carbohydrate is going to be on a ring or like a circular structure. So this molecule D, this is going to be your carbohydrate. Okay. The reason it's not C is because there's some ends there. Okay. And then lipid is just long chain. So that would be molecule A. It can be several of these strung together. So it might be a chain here, chain here, chain here, chain here going up. But either way, if it's not on a ring and it has just carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, okay, it's going to be a lipid. All right. And then the other two, protein, nucleic acid, the way I remember these, so they both have the letter N in the name. Okay. So that means they're also going to have the letter N in the physical structure as well. So protein um, is generally not going to be like on a ring. So this is going to be your protein here, molecule B, and they're going to look slightly different than this on your test, but it'll be a very similar shape. And then nucleic acids, they may or may not be on a ring. Generally, they are, um, but you don't see it in this picture. But most of the time, especially on your test, your EOC, there's also going to be the letter P in there. That's a phosphate group. So the second you see a phosphate group or letter P, it's a nucleic acid. Okay. If there's an N but no P, it's going to be a protein. Okay, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what I just said. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.